What up? What up? What's going on, everybody? It's Dr. Delatoro. I hope and pray you're doing wonderfully well on today. Listen, I am excited about this broadcast. Go ahead and come on in. I want to share a couple things with you that I really believe is going to be impactful for you and help take you to that next level. So people ask me all the time, They say, man, will you please answer my questions around public speaking and presentation? So listen, this is a session for you all. What I want you to do is I want you to fire off in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. But more importantly, I want you to come up with a question or two that you would love for me to answer specifically around public speaking and presentation. So this is a free session. It's a free coaching session that I want to offer you to give you some insight around how to be more impactful and powerful when you have to give that next presentation, when you have to give that next event, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. My name is Dr. Delatoro. For those of y'all who don't know who we are, I travel all over the world. I've been a full-time speaker for over 20 years. I've been in this game full-time for 20 years, and I'm really, really excited. I've been in the industry 23 years, but full-time for the last 20. And so I'm really, really pumped and excited. And so I want to be able to take your questions tonight. So I really want you all to jump in and just ask whatever questions that I can answer for you to help you in the area of being more impactful when you give presentations. One of the questions that I'm being asked already is, I'm currently teaching kids. What would you say that I could do to be more impactful to reach kids at their level? So one of the first things, what's going on, Natalie? I see you. Roberto, God bless you, man. What's up? Tampa Expo, we coming up, baby. Listen, a couple things that I would share with you. So if you're talking to young people, one of the things that I would encourage you to do is be on their level. I think it's so important that no matter what audience that you're speaking to, whether it's corporations, whether it's colleges and universities, whether it's associations, no matter what audience you're talking to, if you want to be more well received in front of that audience, really get in that audience's world. And I think so often, y'all, we don't take the time to get in the audience, no matter what the audience is, whether it's kids, adults, corporate people, entrepreneurs. One of the first things I want to encourage you to do if you want to be more impactful on stage is really understand who you're talking to. Really get really familiar with the folks that you're getting ready to present to, because once you know who you're going to present to, and once you've learned some things about them, and once you know what their pain points are, now you can develop and create and customize a powerful presentation that will resonate with them in a powerful way. But if you don't know anything about them, and you're not really clear about who your audience is, and you can't tap into their level of how they think and how they feel, right, then you're going to run into problems. And I think one of the greatest challenges that a lot of speakers face is most speakers share with an audience what they want to say versus what the audience needs to hear. I'm going to say that again. A lot of speakers share with an audience what they want to say versus what the audience needs to hear. And so, in my opinion, if you want to be more impactful with your audience, care more about what the audience needs and less about what you've prepared. I want you to be prepared. I want you to be as prepared as humanly possible. But I also want you to be really dialed in as to what that audience needs in real time in the moment. And I think if you're more dialed into what that audience needs in real time, you'll be able to be more authentic and you'll be able to deliver more powerfully. So that's one tip right there, to be really, really dialed into what your audience needs. So I hope that y'all, this is a Q&A tonight. So come on in and just drop your questions in the comments, and I'll be glad to answer them. We've got our 3-day Crush the Stage coming up August 28th through the 30th here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. And if you have never attended Crush the Stage, it is a game changer for your public speaking and presentation. So go to crushthestage.com, make application to work with us. Listen, the second question that I'm seeing in the chat so far is, can you take a minute to talk about the pros and cons of NSA? Great question. I'm a huge believer in connecting with other professional speakers who do what I do for a living. And so for me, I've been a member of the National Speakers Association for over 15 years because I wanted to find a place where there could be so many different people from so many different walks of life all over the world who do this industry and who do it at a very, very high level. And so I actually enjoy being a member of NSA because it allows me to be connected with some of the best and brightest minds and some of the most giving people. See, you can be around people in your industry, but they're not giving. I've been a part of a lot of different groups and organizations where people are awesome at what they do, but they don't really give a lot of information and a lot of value. So I love NSA because it allows me to be around some of the best and the brightest and some of the smartest minds out there. And it allows me to kind of get around people who are doing things at the next level, and I can learn and glean from them, and I can pour massive value into them as well. So that's one of the reasons why I love being a member of NSA. So that's a great, great question. One of the questions that was asked is, how much interaction is too much? The answer to that question is, it depends on if your audience is getting with you. If you're doing interactive exercises and the audience is getting with you, then keep on doing it. But if you're doing them and you're feeling like you're forcing it and the audience isn't flowing with what you're doing, then maybe you need to switch over to something else. One of the worst things you can do as a speaker is watch somebody else do something on stage and then say, I'm gonna go on stage and do the same thing. That's the worst thing you can do as a speaker. One of the best things you can do as a speaker is figure out your style, your voice, your cadence, your style of delivery, what makes you unique and different from everybody else that's out there. Because if all you're doing is going out there and regurgitating what you heard someone else say, or trying to deliver in a style that you've seen someone else use and that has not become your own, then really what you are is you're an annoying echo instead of an original voice. And what you really want to learn how to do in this business is become an original voice, where when people hear you, they can distinctly understand, even though they might know who you've studied or who you've read. At the end of the day, when people hear you, they hear something unique. They experience something unique from you that they can't get from another speaker. One of my mentors told me this a long time ago, and I love it. My mentor told me this. He said, listen, you should be able to get on stage and give another speaker your notes, and they still can't deliver at the level you deliver. Why? Because there's a way that there's an unction, there's a spirit ledness that should come with how you present and how you deliver. And this is the stuff that we teach you at Crush the Stage. I teach you a 12-step blueprint for platform mastery, and then I make you actually do it yourself live on stage. That's why you got to register to make application to work with us at Crush the Stage, because I would love to help take you to the next level and really, really help you hone that craft at the expert level as well. I got a question from Odell on Instagram. He's like, how do you practice if you don't have any live gigs coming up? Fantastic question, Odell. Love that question. So the question is, how do you practice for a presentation if you don't have a live audience in front of you between the time you get the call for the presentation and the time you deliver? Couple of answers. First and foremost, first thing I would do is I would practice in an environment that is consistent with the size of the environment that I'm going to be in. So if I'm going to be in front of 5,000 people, I'm going straight to the beach. I'm going to the ocean. I'm getting ready to talk to the sharks. I'm getting ready to talk to the whales. I want the largesse of the room. I want to practice in that environment. I mean, I'm going to go to a baseball diamond. I'm going to go to a football field. I'm going to practice in a large enough environment that's similar to the audience I'm going to be in front of. Another thing that I love to do is I love going live. So I will go live and I will do a little webinar, or I'll do a little live about the content that I'm going to be presenting later, and just see how it lands, see how it relates with people. Because the more you can show up and show out, and the more practice you can get before you deliver a presentation, the better that actual presentation is going to be. Don't just get up there and wing it. Don't just get up there and think you got it going on. No. Prepare. Actually prepare. Because the more you practice and the more you prepare, the more you will be putting yourself in the zone to crush it. And I promise you, your first crack at it is not the best. Even if you're a one-take wonder, I guarantee you can do it better the second, third, and fourth time around. So always make sure that you find an outlet and an environment that's consistent with the size audience you're going to present to. And also make sure that you practice that footage beforehand, before you deliver it. And I guarantee you the next time you deliver it, it's going to be even better. I see another question from Gia up in here. How do you deal with stage fright when speaking to large groups? Fantastic question. I love this question. How do you deal with stage fright? How many of y'all have ever experienced that sense of angst or nervousness when you get ready to give a presentation, right? So I have some great tips for you, just in case you guys didn't know. Not only am I the best-selling author, Wall Street Journal and USA Today best-selling author of Shift into a Higher Gear, but a couple of years before Shift into a Higher Gear came out, I wrote this incredible book called Platinum Presentations: 52 Tips to Speak with Confidence, Win Your Audience, and Grow Your Bank Account. It's a fantastic, quick read book. It's designed to help anybody give a better presentation the very next time you have to deliver it. This book is not necessarily for people who want to become paid professional speakers necessarily. This is just for anyone who just wants to improve on communication skills and presentation skills. But Gia, to answer your question, I think it's a great question. 3 things you can do to get rid of stage fright when you get ready to get on stage. First and foremost, stop speaking, "I'm nervous" or "I'm afraid." Most people, when they're nervous about a presentation, they say it 1,000 times before the presentation. The day before, they'll say, "Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm afraid. I'm afraid." The next morning, "Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. I'm afraid." All day long, "I'm nervous. I'm afraid." So the first thing that you can start doing is stop saying that you're nervous and afraid, because you're made in the image and likeness of the great I am. Okay. So, but if you're made in the image and likeness of the great I am, which is God, then the words you put right after I am are very, very important. So when you say "I am amazing," then you just matched your identity to amazing. But as soon as you say "I am nervous," "I am afraid," "I am fearful," then guess what? You just put all of that in your identity as well. So be careful the words you put after "I am." So very important. If you want to give a better presentation, say "I'm pumped," "I'm excited," "I'm ready," "I'm stoked," "I'm well read," I'm sensitive to what my audience needs," "I'm about to shut the building down." Speak what you want, not what you don't want. That's number 1. Number 2, make sure that you've put enough reps in. Actually practice a presentation on multiple people, different audiences, different groups. All right, that's why Toastmasters is important. That's why coming to a speaker training like Crush the Stage is so important, because you get a chance to practice in an environment when it doesn't count. Does that make sense? You always want to make sure you practice in an environment when it doesn't count, so that when it does count, you crush it, you kill it. Does that make sense? No author publishes the first draft of their manuscript. No author does that. They write the manuscript and then it gets torn apart multiple times by multiple editors before you see the final version. So if that's the case in publishing, it's the same in presentation skills. You can't just get up there and wing it and expect for it to be incredible. You got to be really, really intentional. That's why I make people come spend 3 days with me, and I do a deep dive to help extrapolate the best speaker, the best coach, the best on-platform presenter that you could possibly be. So if this is resonating with you, make sure you go to crushthestage.com and make application to work with us, because I would love to work really closely with you and help bring out the better speaker that's inside of you, the speaker that's more articulate, that's more powerful, that's more connected, that's more well researched, the speaker that closes better, the influencer that gets people to buy their products and services at a much more accelerated rate. That's what I want for you. Does that make sense? So you got to make application. Go to crushthestage.com to make application to work with us. I really believe it'll be a total game changer for you. A couple of the questions, y'all. This is all about you. So put your questions in the comments. There's no such thing as a bad question. Put your questions in the comments. I'm going to do the best I can to actually answer them. Really, really important stuff here. Let me see what else. Is a person equipped? Right. After taking Crush the Stage, is a person equipped to work, speak, make money? Yes, absolutely. So once you come through Crush the Stage, oh my gosh, I mean, people that leave Crush the Stage and immediately start charging more for their speaking. They start getting booked left and right like crazy. You're going to leave with not only one signature presentation, but you're going to leave with several signature presentations that you can actually go out and deliver to major organizations and get paid really well to do it. You're also going to leave with media training. That's another big thing. Well, y'all, one of the fastest ways to grow your business and grow your brand is to be able to look into a camera lens and talk to millions of people at one time. One of the big things that we focus on at Crush the Stage is media training, because I really believe it's so vitally important, y'all, that we be able to look into a camera lens and transfer our knowledge and information and our skills to people who are watching us. And I'm telling you, you will never do podcasts the same. You'll never get interviewed the same. All of these are the benefits of cultivating strong public speaking and presentation skills. You'll be a better podcast interviewer. You will be a better podcast host. You will do television interviews better. You'll do media interviews better. You will lead your masterminds better. You will lead the people that you coach 10 times better. You'll do Instagram lives better as a direct result of graduating from Crush the Stage. So it's an incredible 3-day training. Precious, I hope I answered your question. Thank you so much, y'all. This is the Ask Me Anything session. We're live. This is real time. So ask me anything about public speaking and presentation, and I will do my best to answer it. So put your questions in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them, y'all, so you guys can know that I'm here, rooting for you guys and expecting nothing for you. So no matter what platform it's on, just drop your question, and I'll do the best that I can to answer it. All right, we've got a question from Jamie. Jamie, love you. So excited for all the incredible television doors that have opened for your business and for your brand. Holy smokes. The question is, I've been listening to Platinum Presentations audiobook, which is absolutely fantastic. Wondering if you still beatbox. Yep, I still beatbox. I'm not good, but I still got the beatbox flavor. Yep. So every now and again, I will certainly beatbox for my audiences. They don't see it coming. And the reason why I like to beatbox is because I like to do things in my audience. I want y'all to write this down as an important takeaway. People do business with folks that they know, like, and trust. Remember, during your presentation, you should be consistently building know, like, and trust factor the entire presentation. I'm going to say that again. During your entire presentation, okay, you should be building know, like, and trust factor. Okay, so what does that mean? Tell stories that build know, like, and trust factor. Do use visuals that build know, like, and trust factor, right? Engage with the audience in such a way that it builds know, like, and trust factor. And so what's something that you could do that the audience instantly likes? Beatboxing, right? So I build in something like beatboxing because it's old school, but the new folks can relate to it as well. It's multi-generational, yada, 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 yada. So find out what's something that you like. Find out something that you are passionate about. Find out something you enjoy and incorporate that into your presentation, and your audience will thank you for it. It's a big, big deal, and it's a great way to take your presentation game to the next level. Another question that I'm being asked, Stacy's asking this question. She's like, how can you assemble a team to assist you? There's a couple ways you can assemble a team. Number one, if you're talking about a paid team, I highly recommend, if you're hiring a paid team, you go on a resource like Upwork or Thumbtack or Indeed or LinkedIn Jobs to start to find subcontractors who can work in your business and your brand. So when you're ready to pay people, go through those platforms. However, if you're just looking for some support at an event you've got coming up, you can ask the client if they can assign you people who will assist you at your table, people who will assist you at your event. If it's a local event, invite family, invite friends, invite people that you went to school with. People are always wanting to help speakers, communicators be more impactful. So I would highly encourage you to recruit people to your event. If you don't want to pay them, then let them be family, friends, coworkers, colleagues, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're trying to assemble a paid team, I would go out to some of the networks like Upwork, and I would go to Thumbtack, and I would go and find the actual talent you need. If you're saying, hey, I need somebody to film me, right, at an event, and you want it to be professional so you can use it to get more paid gigs, I would hire somebody on Thumbtack to do that. If you just want a couple of pictures of yourself in front of an audience, then hey, you might be able to get a family member, cousin, niece, nephew, a youth that you mentor to do that as well, and they'll do it out of the kindness of their heart from their phone. But it depends on what the purpose of what you're needing the team to do. If they're collecting money, make sure it's people you trust. Hello, right? Because trust me, when it comes to money in the speaking industry, you will make and lose tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars in minutes. So you got to be really intentional about who's working your table so they can work your product table quickly. So that way you can generate the kind of revenue that you want to generate. And that's another reason why you want to come to Crush the Stages, because I teach you all of these different nuances, how to make money quickly after an event, how to sell your books in droves after an event. So vitally important, y'all. This stuff is it'll take you to a completely different dimension. Thank you so much for letting me know you enjoyed my book, Naturally Q. Appreciate that. Please make sure you leave us a review on Amazon and Audible if you haven't had a chance to do that just yet. Other questions, y'all. Other questions. Question comes up. How much did you charge when you first got started? Great question. When I first started, y'all, I started speaking in the college market. So when I first started speaking in the college market, I was charging. I went to several college conferences to find out what the going rate was at colleges and universities. And then I priced myself in that same ecosystem. So in the beginning, I was charging maybe $1,500, $2,000 a talk when I first got started. Does that make sense? Because that's what my peers and contemporaries in the industry are also charging. So what I would encourage you to do is figure out what lane you want to be in, and be clear more so about when you're picking your price. It's more so about the value that you're offering, not necessarily just the price you want to quote, because you don't want to just compete against other speakers against price. You really want to know what value you offer in juxtaposition to other people, so that way you can say, okay, hey, my offering coming to your organization is going to offer this much value to your organization, where somebody else probably doesn't even have that skill set, so they can't make that kind of impact. Does that make sense? So you're not always pricing yourself based upon what other speakers are charging, but you're pricing more on the value that you bring to the time that you have there. They're not just paying you for the hour, they're paying you for the value that you bring to the hour. Does that make sense? Really, really important. Okay, good stuff. Um, blah, 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 blah. No, I wouldn't skip dinner tomorrow if I was you. Francis, I wouldn't do that. All right, other questions, y'all. Come on, what other questions do you have? If you're just starting out, should you have a book to add to your speaking business? That's a great question. If you're just starting out, should you have a book? I recommend publishing a book as expeditiously as possible, because a book is one way to establish your expertise. It's one way to establish your expertise. So I strongly recommend that you have a book. But I think that you also have to understand something, right? Now that publishing has become so common and everybody and their grandma's published a book, it's not so much about getting the book written. It's a lot of authors, they'll write a book and then they lose gas. They run out of energy when it's time to promote the book. You want to make sure that you have not only written a great book, but they're out there promoting the heck out of that book, so everybody knows that that book is an incredible book that they have to have. Does that make sense? I see it all the time. People write a book, they sell 100 copies to family and friends, and you never hear about the book anymore. What a waste. What a shame. Does that make sense? In order for a book to become Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you got to sell the heck out of that book. You got to talk about that book over and over and over and over and over and over again. And one of the things that I see is that a lot of people kind of give up. They stop talking about their book way too soon, way too early. And so they don't get a chance to really take their speaking to the next level, because they're so focused on, oh, well, what's the next book? Let me just get another book out. Let me just get another book out. No, be intentional about this process. Be intentional about what it really means to publish well. If you're going to, whatever you're going to do, y'all, do it with a sense of excellence, and not just do it with a sense of, okay, let me hurry up and get it out, right? Speed is cool, but at the end of the day, you're not going to get, I'm going to get in trouble by saying this, but I think certain things just take time, right? I don't care how great you are in bed, you're not going to produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. I'm going to wait for you. I'm going to say that again. I don't care how amazing you are in bed, you're not going to produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. What is my point? My point is some things take time. What's my point? You can't rush everything. Does that make sense? Don't come out here just trying to rush and put a book out. No. Put out something of substance. Y'all, especially with all the artificial intelligence stuff that's out there, everybody's telling you to just produce a book tomorrow. Listen, I think it's great. I think it's, yes, ChatGPT and all these other artificial intelligence tools will allow you to produce content faster. But just because it's faster doesn't mean it's better. Does that make sense? People are going to talk about a well-written book, not just a book you just threw out there. Does that make sense? So, and you also want to make sure that you can stand before people and be proud of what you've produced as well. I'm not saying you can't do research on Google. I'm not saying don't research and pull great content from ChatGPT and other artificial intelligence platforms. But what I'm saying is, I still believe that the best content should come from your spirit, come from your loins, come from your effort, come from what you have put in the planet. Does that make sense? And I think you need a coach. I believe that you need a coach. If you're really going to produce the best book content, the best speaking content possible, you need a coach to help you do that. Because just trying to come out here and do it on your own, there's a zillion aspects of publishing. There's a zillion aspects of how do you negotiate your fee so you can incorporate books into it, still get some money, and then bring something different to the live event. There's all kinds of strategies around bulk book sales and all kinds of other things that can come together, but you got to really be intentional, and you need a coach and mentor to show you that. And that's one of the things that I love to show my students. So y'all, if you're really serious about taking it to the next level with your speaking and presentation skills, I cannot highly recommend enough going to crushthestage.com and make application to work with us. We have a 3-day speaker training coming up August 28th through the 30th. And let me say this to you. Opportunities never go away, they only go to others. Opportunities never go away, they only go to other people. August 28th through the 30th is going to come and go. The question is, are you going to be a 10 times more powerful, profitable, intentional, connected, anointed, gifted speaker, author, trainer, coach, influencer on the other side of those 3 days than before you were on those side of those 3 days? Does that make sense? So the dates are going to come and go. The question becomes, are you going to be a better communicator on the other side of it? And the only way you're going to know that is if you make application to work with us, because y'all, for almost as long as I've been speaking full time, I've been developing speakers, authors, and coaches and helping them to take their business and their brand to the next level. And I would love to work with you to help you take your business and your brand to the next level. Because please be clear, Warren Buffett already told on you, the most important business skill you can ever develop is your ability to speak and communicate well in public about your business. Does that make sense? So no matter what your business is, I don't care if it's fitness, I don't care if it's lace fronts, it does not matter, or selling cold plunge tubs. It does not matter what your product or service is. What matters is, are you incredible enough on stage that when you get on stage, people hear you, they're blown away by what you share, and they want whatever it is that you're selling. Does that make sense? So less attention on the widget, more attention on exactly your skills and your ability to deliver and produce at the next level. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So Ron, heart to heart, I hope that I answered your question well. There was another question that came up. I'm going to ask her as many questions as I can. Does your program help with storytelling? Absolutely. Y'all, when you come across the stage, it is a complete A to Z speaker training. There's no module that's left out. There's no content that's left out. We cover everything from soup to nuts about how you can become a 10x more influential speaker, communicator of your message, your content. We cover storytelling. We cover close. We cover rhetorical sensitivity. We cover audience analysis and audience psychology. We cover crafting the message. We cover utilizing props and illustrations and metaphors and analogies. We cover neurolinguistic programming. We cover visual aids and props and illustrations. We cover how to sell from the stage. All of that we cover in our 3-day speaker training. Y'all, come on, make some noise. Fire off in the comments. Y'all, that's some good stuff. And not only do we teach it to you, but we then make you get up and go do it. And that's what makes it 10 times more powerful as well. It's not just learning the concepts and you take some notes and highlight some stuff and you go home with a book that's got some good stuff in it. No. You're going to get up on stage and you're going to work on your gift. You're going to work on your craft. You're going to produce a product you've never delivered before. People left our the stage 3-day speaker training and gone out and done TED Talk with the content. It's that transformational, y'all. It's that powerful. It's that much of a game changer. And that TED Talk ended up blowing up for certain brands. And that was the very thing that they used to launch their entire career. So don't sleep on it, y'all. It's a very, very powerful and transformational experience. It'll completely transmogrify everything that you're doing right now. There was another question that I saw about publicists and PR firms. Did you use a book publicist? That was one of the questions I was asked. I've used book publicists on and off throughout my career. I've never had a publicist that just stays with my brand the entire time. Normally, I'll hire a book publicist to work with when I'm launching my book, whether it's self-published or with a major publisher. Like the first 90 days of the book getting out, I will work with a PR firm or publicist to help me get word out to all the folks, like the 30 days before it comes out with pre-sales, and then 60 days after the book comes out with those initial push of sales when the book is first coming out. But then I do a lot of my own marketing and promotion of my books as well. And that's what's allowed our books to do so well. And also having written a very, very well-written book is a big deal to it. Because at the end of the day, you want people to be able to refer your book, talk about your content, and share it with the masses in a powerful way. All right, what other questions do you guys have, y'all? These are good questions, I'm telling you. And if you're getting value out of this and you're enjoying these answers, then y'all, this is the kind of stuff that you definitely want to be a part of. That's why you want to come to our 3-day speaker training. It's coming up August 28th through the 30th. I know that's right around the corner. We are going to be doing another one later on in the year. However, that one that we're doing later on in the year, the price is going to go up significantly, y'all. This is the last speaker training I'm doing at this price. So if you want the price to stay the same, I would highly encourage you to go to Crush application to be a part of our upcoming speaker training that's happening at the end of the month, because the one that's happening at the end of the year. I do them once a quarter. The one that's going to be in November is going to be almost twice the tuition of what it is, because we just got inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame. We've hit some major milestones this year in our speaking career. And so because of that, our pricing is going up. Come on, somebody up in here. Does that make sense? So listen, I just wanted to jump on here and add value to you all. I hope that I was able to answer a lot of good questions, give you guys some key insights to help you take your public speaking and presentation skills to the next level. Know that you guys are loved, celebrated, and appreciated as always. And I hope that you all will make application to work with us and our team so that we can work with you in person, 36 hours of in-person training. Y'all, can you imagine? Think about how impactful it is when you jump on my lives on social media and we're doing content for maybe 20 and 30 minutes. Some of you guys are taking pages and pages of notes in a 20 or 30 minute live. Now multiply that by 36 hours, 3 deep dive days in person with me is going to change your bank account. Please be clear. It's going to change your life. It's going to change your income. It's going to change everything. So go to crushthestage.com, make application, and let's really, really be about the business of sharing our message with the world in a more impactful way. I hope that you've enjoyed this broadcast. I hope it's added value to your life, and we cannot wait to work with you guys soon. God bless you. Have a beautiful night. We'll talk soon. Peace.